I'm going to say this in two ways. One way is faster. Why? My mother gave me an apple for breakfast. My mother gave me an apple for breakfast. The second way was faster. Why was that? It's because I did three things that helped me say this more quickly. Weakened sounds, squashed sounds, and connected speech. I made some sounds weaker when I spoke. It was the coloured sounds that you can see on the screen here that became weaker. They are the vowel sounds in non-content words and unstressed parts of multisyllable words. So in the non-content words, we're looking at words that don't have any real meaning of their own. They're either simply grammatical words that link different parts of the sentence together, like un. Un doesn't mean anything, an. It simply links words together or shows what a word represents. Also, pronouns like my are replacement words, and sometimes those are not stressed either. And in these words, we will weaken the vowel sounds. So instead of my, I said m to get to mother quickly. Instead of an, I said un. Instead of for, I said f. Also, with the unstressed sounds in longer words. Many longer words will have 2 syllables or 3 syllables. That means where we have 2 sounds in a word or 3 sounds in a word or sometimes more. So instead of saying mother, we say mother. Instead of saying apple, we say apple. Instead of saying breakfast, we say breakfast. Now, weaker sounds require less articulation, less mouth movements, less effort from the speaker. This means they can be said faster. As well as weakening sounds, I also squashed sounds. Which sounds? Well, it was exactly the same sounds that were weakened. So why is it okay to do this? The content words like mother, apple, breakfast need to be heard in order for you to get the message. They're crucial for communicating the message. The coloured letters are less important for comprehension by the listener, and this means they can be said faster without a significant risk of misunderstanding. And you can do one more thing too, and that is connect your speech up. How do we connect speech in a sentence like this? Well, you do it by connecting the sounds at the end of the word and the start of the next word. Firstly, merged sounds. Instead of saying for breakfast, which is what I did in the first example you heard at the beginning of this video, I link the words together and simply say for breakfast. For breakfast. So it's like all one word. I do that in other places too. Instead of saying my mother gave, I say mother gave. I join mother and gave together. And also between an and apple. Instead of saying an apple, I say an apple. And this is very common with vowel sounds when we have a vowel at the beginning of one word and a consonant at the end of the previous word. Here it's easy to join them together. Instead of saying an apple, it's very natural to do and it helps you speak faster. When there is a vowel at the end of a word and a vowel at the start of the next word, we could use an intrusive vowel to help us get more quickly from one sound to the next. In the example here, in red, we can see the words me followed by an. We don't have a pause between the two. Instead of saying me an, we use a y to get between them, me-an. And that helps you to say them faster. So with an e vowel at the end of a word, we often use this y sound to get from one word to the next, me-an. With an o vowel, we often use a w sound, such as go on. And with an a vowel or a vowel, we often use a r to get from one to the other. So instead of saying, I want a sofa and a chair, you could say, sofa and a chair. Sofa and. So there's a r there, sofa and. And that helps you get more quickly between one sound and the next. So these 3 skills, weakened sounds, squashed sounds, and connected speech, added to language learning and extensive speaking practice, will enable you to speak as quickly as a native speaker of English if you keep practicing and keep going with it. And there's so much more to learn about English speaking and pronunciation. And you can learn it all on my advanced course. There's a link to the course in the description box below this video.